According to old Google, the Central Market, Lagoa da Pampulha, and the quote, Organic Modernist Church of St. Francis of Assisi rank among the top things to see in Belo Horizonte. Chad loves him some architecture and churches. And while he enjoys a boys-only weekend to the mid-century hotspot of Palm Springs as much as the next fella, this, not so much. They say architecture can move the soul, or as in this case, make you want to move on to the next city. Sorry, Oscar Niemeyer. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. Well, for those of you still with us, back to riding motorcycles. With all due respect to the fine people of Belo Horizonte, the plan was to flee the city as soon as humanly possible and jump on the Caminho dos Diamantes and slowly wind our way to the end, or a beginning, of the Estrada Real. Problem is, neither this map or this jigsaw puzzle are going to get us there. So it's back to the attempted murderer known as Google. Starting way down here in mid-century modernist hell, we were taking the indirect route on this itty-bitty road along the flanks of the Serra do Cipó to Morro do Pilar before twisting and turning all the way up here to Diamantina. After taking the high road, the low road, the back roads, and the highway, we stopped to fuel both bike and body at a traditional buffet-style truck stop. Now, typically, we don't make a habit of documenting our meals. Our YouTube channel is about architecture, not food. But we'd be remiss not to mention, once again, how incredible the buffets are here in Brazil. After a near-fatal case of the meat sweats, Chad waddled back to the bike, and we departed the highway once and for all. Passing through Ipoema, we temporarily bid farewell to the pavement and got to work burning off that buffet and sucking dust. These roads, specifically the reddish clay found in the mountains and Amazon basin of Brazil, have a sweet spot. Too dry, and the dust will hang in the air indefinitely, painting the roadside plants red, making seeing and breathing near impossible. Some locals even resort to watering the roads, if only to prevent everything they own from being dusted red. Too wet, and they turn into a slick, hellish slurry that provides zero traction. Of learning where we were, a friend reached out to Chad on Facebook and explicitly warned him not to attempt these roads after heavy rain. He had previously made that mistake, a mistake that cost his group 6 hours to cover 4 kilometers. They had, at points, simply resorted to pushing their bikes. But despite the occasional flurries, we were at the tail end of the wet season, during what had been a historic drought. We pulled into Itambe do Mato Dentro with both a smile and copious amounts of red dust plastered across our faces. But alas, the sun was hanging low, so we pulled over at a local shop and attempted to get the lay of the land.
But we got to figure out where we're going and what we're doing. We're running out of daylight.
Put the tent right here.
Yeah, we'll pitch our tent right here. Alright, I don't think this is where I wanted to go. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Okay. It was just some random spot on the map. Could be a whole fucking video on that. Alright, well this is the end of the road as far as what I had programmed, so...
Thanks to iOverlander, and no thanks to Google Maps, we found a perfect little campsite all to ourselves and right on the banks of Rio Preto do Itambe. The ideal spot for us setting up camp time-lapse and getting some work done next to the campfire. We packed up the next morning, wasting no time skipping town and hitting the dirt, and counting a few damn totems along the way. But no sooner had we hit the Estrada Real than we were off it again. And there was no blaming Google Maps this time. So we turned around, deftly positioned ourselves at the bottom of the molehill, and gave it a run. All 5,000 kilos from a dead stop.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
That did not go according to plan.
Okay. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. You okay?
1, 2, 3. Okay, there's a totem. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, as the saying goes, never make a mountain out of a molehill. But as if that wasn't enough, Chad, in a fit of passive-aggressive rage, made me hike up this molehill while he luxuriated in the plush comfort of his stock Honda seat.
We were just picking up speed, so I had to lay it down.
Right back to the campsite.
We would have rolled right off the edge.
Ah, the old I had to lay it down chestnut. With that out of our system, we got back in the saddle.
Whoa! Where'd that guy come from?
And got promptly smoked by a local on a 150cc Yamaha, hauling a crate of chickens. Classic. We continued along the flanks of the Serra do Cipó, descending the foothills through ever-changing flora and across the Rio Preto, until finally confronting the unmistakable progress of civilization, its unending pursuit to tame all things wild, and the union of the Caminho dos Diamantes and Highway MG 232 in Morro do Pilar. But as we all know, progress isn't always what it's cracked up to be. And any relief imagined by the promise of pavement was soon shattered by the realization that the new and improved was indeed much worse than the original Coke. And much in the same way that too much sugary soda will rot your teeth, these potholes were ruining whatever was left of our suspension. From pavers to pavement to potholes, we pushed inland and ever higher into the Serra da Ferrugem and beyond the reach of Google Maps. According to whatever sources we had randomly deemed reliable, this was in fact the highway to Diamantina.
Well, I have no idea where we are, but we're here.
This is our city. It's called Corn.
Corn? Our city's called Corn?
Oh yeah, we've been so into corn
Yeah.
throughout these like.
So this is where we're going?
This is where we are.
This is where we are, okay. And what are we doing here?
We're not staying here. We're going to Diamantina.
Okay. All right.
Unless you want to take a residence.
Yeah, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere here. I was all about those corners till I got launched into those pavers, those uneven pavers. That was unexpected.
Bam! Pavers!
Chad was clearly convinced I had taken one too many pavers to the head. But as this sign confirms, we were in fact in Milho Verde, which literally translates to green corn. Alas, our stay was short-lived, and we were soon back on the dirt. Weaving our way through the mountains, town to town, a series of back roads, spontaneously and unexpectedly giving way to pavement, then back to dirt, then pavers, until finally, no sooner than we bid farewell to the dirt once and for all, the skies opened, and Chad pulled over to don his rain gear, an indignity I'm not forced to suffer. And just as we were being overtaken by a herd of wayward cattle, a passerby stopped to warn us that the cows didn't have their lights on. Or, yeah, I guess.
Tem que trocar mesmo. Já vai molhar.
Perdão?
Tranquilo, amigo?
Como está?
Pode. Tirando esse gado, não sei de quem que é. Perigoso dar um acidente aqui, senhor?
O perdão, não falo português.
Desculpa. Tô tirando, não sei de quem.
Oh, the lights, luz?
Gado.
Isso?
Não sei de quem.
É tuyo?
Não, não.
No, no tuyo?
Não, é porque tá no corredor, tô com medo de bater aqui.
Oh, yeah, claro, claro. É peligroso. Muy peligroso.
Tranquilo.
Thank you. Obrigado. Tchau, tchau.
Tchau.
I guess those aren't his cows.
Oh, they're not?
No,
They could be ours?
they could be ours.
You good?
Well, I'm fucking wet, but other than that, yeah, we're good. Jesus.
Back on the tarmac, the steady rain cleansed us of the vestiges of the Estrada Real as we rode the final stretch of pavement to where it all began. Diamantina, the city of diamonds. And the only thing harder than diamonds are the unholy colonial roads crisscrossing town. Whatever the pavers and potholes didn't break, these rough, uneven stone roads are bound to. If you listen carefully, you can actually hear bolts rattling loose and welds cracking.
These streets are ridiculous.
My fillings have been knocked loose.
I know, I knocked loose a couple kidney stones. Toughest riding all day. Just trying to navigate around town without dying. These roads are insane.
Yeah, they're slippery. They're steep. We get it already. Anyway, having finally arrived in Diamantina, we wasted no time heading to the beautiful historic center, where the entire town turned out to celebrate our arrival.